Hello everyone. So now we are here in the section of our blood supply in the region of our pelvic region or the lower part of our diaphragm. Okay, at the level. So in this video we are going to discuss the branches from our external and the internal iliac artery, which are the terminal branches of our abdominal aorta or the terminal branches of our common iliac artery in the left and the right side both, and they actually supplies your pelvic region and the region of your lower limb. Okay, further the external iliac artery is the continuation of your femoral artery, so femoral artery further supplies your lower limb area, thigh region, leg region and the foot region. So further in the next videos we will discuss about the continuation of external iliac artery. So now we are here going to discuss this is your pelvic, okay, pelvic bone, and this lumbar region L4 L5, this is sacrum. Okay, so and this is piriformis muscle, sacrospinous ligament, sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, so and this is your inguinal ligament. So in respect to these all structures we are going to discuss the branches. Okay, so let's begin first with the topography from where there is bifurcation of our common iliac artery. Okay, so this is your common iliac artery. As you know that common iliac artery is the terminal branch of our abdominal aorta. Okay, and they actually bifurcate in the form of your common iliac artery. So consider it as your right side. Okay, right, and just at the level of your L4, between L4 and L5 they actually bifurcate into right and left common iliac artery, and further right and left common iliac artery further divides at the level of your sacroiliac joint. Okay, so at the level of your sacroiliac joint they actually bifurcate into your internal and external iliac artery. Okay, so this is the level. Okay, so this is the level of your sacroiliac joint. Okay, or L5, lower part of your L5. Okay, so this is your internal iliac artery, and this is your external iliac artery. Okay, so first we will discuss about our external iliac artery, which has two branches. Okay, so external iliac artery actually goes like this and reaches your inguinal ligament, that is your inguinal ring, between your inguinal ring, that is, and there it terminates here at the level of your inguinal ligament, and just after passing or exiting through your inguinal ligament, it's actually now called as your femoral artery. So after just below your inguinal ligament, now the external iliac artery is in the continuation, and the name changes to your femoral artery. Okay, so here it is your femoral artery. So we'll discuss next video, okay, about the branches of femoral artery. So only remember, after the external iliac artery, actually after passing the inguinal ligament, they now it is called as femoral artery. Okay, so let's see the branches. Okay, the first branch is actually your deep circumflex artery. Deep circumflex artery actually passes posteriorly and just passes parallel to your inguinal ligament also, you can say, because it is going parallel to your inguinal ligament, and passes parallel to your iliac crest. Okay, still here. So this, what is the name of this branch? This branch is your deep circumflex artery. Deep circumflex artery. Okay, so and it actually supplies which muscles? Transverse muscles and your iliac muscles. Okay, so these are the supply for the iliac region and the posterior side. And another branch is your inferior epigastric artery. So inferior epigastric artery actually passes medially and posteriorly, and actually it passes upward side. It actually goes upward side like this, and it also goes parallel to your inguinal ligament, and just passes between your transverse fascia also. Okay, and reaches your rectus abdominis sheath or rectus abdominis muscle, and there it does anastomosis with your inferior epigastric artery. Superior epigastric artery, which is a branch of your internal thoracic artery, continuation of your internal thoracic artery. Remember that from your thoracic, from your direct branch from your thyrocervical trunk. Okay, so this is your internal. Now this is your inferior epigastric artery. Okay, inferior epigastric artery. So it does anastomosis with your superior epigastric artery, which is a branch of your continuation of your internal thoracic artery. Okay, now we are complete with our two branches of our external iliac artery. Only the external iliac artery has only two branches. Okay, and it actually further continues to supply your lower limb. Okay, and now we will see the the branches of our internal iliac artery. Further, internal iliac artery, actually this is your sciatic foramen. So at the level of your superior edge of your sciatic foramen, greater sciatic foramen, actually this is greater and this one is lesser below. Okay, so at the level of your superior edge of your greater sciatic foramen, there is a division into of your internal iliac artery. Okay, so further it divides into posterior and anterior. Okay, so what is the level here? Level is your superior edge of greater sciatic foramen. So first we will discuss about your posterior. So this is your posterior division or posterior trunk, and this is the anterior division of your internal iliac artery. Okay, so divided into two parts. Some branches goes to posterior side. So in the posterior division we have three branches. So first branch is actually your iliolumbar artery. So from here above side it goes just backward. Okay, and just goes parallel to your lumbar vertebrae and supply them also, and it does anastomosis with your deep circumflex artery here. Okay, so like here, like this. So here it is anastomosis, and this artery is your iliolumbar artery. Iliolumbar artery. Okay, like this. And this is the first branch from your posterior trunk. Okay, and the next branch is your lateral. Next branch is your lateral sacral artery. Okay, so next branch is your lateral sacral artery, and it just goes parallel to your sacrum, and it supplies your sacral plexus also, roots of your sacral plexus also, because this is your sacrum and there is a root for your sacral plexus, nerve roots. So for them there is a blood supply also from your lateral sacral artery. Okay, so this is your lateral sacral artery. Okay, and it supplies your piriformis muscle also, because it is going just above your piriformis muscle. Okay, till here it goes like this. So this is your lateral sacral artery, lateral to your sacrum. And the last one is your superior gluteal artery, and superior gluteal artery actually goes like this. From here there is a branch, and it just goes above your piriformis muscle, or you can say it in the suprapiriformis foramen. So this is your suprapiriformis foramen, this is your infrapiriformis foramen. So piriformis muscle actually divides greater sciatic foramen into two foramens, superior piriformis and inferior piriformis. So it actually passes through this foramen and just goes to your gluteal muscles. Okay, in the back side of your posterior muscles of your thigh. Okay, so not thigh, pelvic. Okay, so this is your superior gluteal artery. Okay, so these are the three arteries that arises from your posterior trunk. Okay, so lateral sacral artery, there is an anastomosis with your median sacral artery, remember that. So lateral sacral artery has anastomosis with your median sacral artery. So median sacral artery is a branch from the dorsal or the posterior side of your abdominal aorta, direct branch. Okay, from the posterior side. We have discussed in our abdominal aorta. So remember, there is an anastomosis between these two arteries, and there is a sacrum name, so it can be clear. Okay, so it's medial side and that's from your lateral side, and they both anastomosis in the region of your sacrum. Okay, so now we will see the branches from our anterior division. So first branch from our anterior division is actually our umbilical artery. Okay, so umbilical artery, like this it goes, internal iliac, like anterior division goes like this, and from here there is an umbilical artery like this, and umbilical artery actually terminates or you can say unobliterated part or undisintegrated part, because umbilical artery is actually the blood supply. This artery actually supplies your fetus during your embryonical stage. Okay, so when during the fetus it is actually umbilical artery, but after that it actually, the part which is unobliterated continue as your superior vesical artery. Okay, so superior vesical artery, so it also gives branch in the name of superior vesical artery. So it arises from your umbilical artery, remember that. Umbilical artery, and umbilical artery actually terminates or the oblated part of your umbilical artery is called as median umbilical ligament. Okay, so this is your median umbilical ligament. So median umbilical ligament, and superior vesical artery supplies your superior part of your urinary bladder. Okay, so this was the artery, umbilical artery, and now next artery is our obturator. So next artery is your obturator artery. So obturator artery actually arises just below your umbilical artery, and it passes through your obturator foramen. And before passing inside your obturator foramen, it gives a branch called as pubic branch. Okay, this black one. So this pubic branch actually does anastomosis from the pubic branch which is coming from your inferior epigastric artery. Okay, so this pubic branch and this pubic branch actually does anastomosis, and this is actually called as corona mortis. Okay, so this is corona mortis. Corona mortis. This anastomosis. Okay, and further this obturator artery passes inside your obturator foramen, inside your through your obturator canal. Okay, and there it supplies your external obturator muscles and your adductor muscles, and further gives acetabular branch also in the acetabular region. Okay, acetabular is a space for the hip joint, articulation surface for your hip joint. Okay, so there it gives a branch. Its branch arises from obturator artery, and further it goes to your femur, head of the femur in the hip joint, and there it supplies the ligaments which are around your hip joint and the head of the femur, and there it terminates by supplying the region in the hip joint. Okay, so this was your obturator artery, this one. And next artery is your uterine artery. Uterine artery is actually the artery present only in females. So for the uterine part. Okay, and uterine part, and from uterine artery there is artery for the vagina also. So you can say a vaginal artery direct from uterine artery also, and or you can say as direct from your internal iliac artery. Okay, so now next one is your inferior vesical artery. Okay, so inferior vesical artery, inferior vesical artery. So inferior vesical artery actually supplies your inferior aspect of your urinary bladder, and it does anastomosis with your superior vesical artery. Okay, in the region of your urinary bladder. Okay, and there is a branch called as vas deferens. So vas deferens, you can say it as it directly arises from internal iliac also, or you can say it arises from umbilical artery also sometimes. Okay, and this was a branch, and there is sometimes branch arises for ureter also from internal iliac artery here. Okay, so this is ureteric branch, ureteric branch. Okay, so these was all small branches. Now the termination branch of your internal iliac artery is your pudendal artery. Okay, so pudendal artery actually terminates in the form, internal iliac terminates in the form of your internal pudendal artery. So what is the topography of internal pudendal artery is actually, it actually arises from here. Just consider it is arising from here, and it actually passes through your infrapiriformis foramen, and there it bends in your ischial spine. Okay, so this is posteriorly it bends, and it again enters to your lesser sciatic foramen inside your pelvis. Again it enters, so it takes a bend around your ischial spine in the posterior side. Firstly it enters to your infrapiriformis foramen. This is your infrapiriformis foramen below the piriformis muscle, and it bends in your ischial spine, and again it enters to your lesser sciatic foramen and reaches your ischiorectal fossa. Okay, in the ischiorectal fossa it terminates into its terminal branches. Okay, so like this it goes. It is a long pathway, and it actually supplies the lower part of your diaphragm and goes to your perineum. Okay, so it has further many branches. Okay, so let's see one by one the branches. So first branch is your inferior rectal branch. Okay, so inferior rectal branch. So inferior rectal branch is actually supplying your inferior part of your rectum, and it does anastomosis with your superior and the middle rectal artery. Okay, so just remember there is anastomosis between superior, middle and inferior rectal artery. Okay, so this was the first branch from your internal pudendal. This is your internal pudendal artery, pudendal. And next branch is your posterior labial, posterior labial in your females. Okay, and for females there is a posterior scrotal branch. Okay, posterior scrotal in your females. Okay, and another branch is your artery to your bulb of vestibule, artery to bulb of vestibule in females. Okay, in your females, bulb of vestibule in your females, and artery to the bulb of penis, artery to bulb of penis in males. Okay, so these are the branches, and further it goes forward. Okay, like this, and it has a branch called as dorsal branch for your penis, dorsal root for penis. So dorsal here, dorsal root of penis, artery forward also root of penis. And like this in females there is for clitoris. Okay, so penis in males, and females it is for clitoris. And deep branch of penis, and this is your deep branch of penis, and like this deep branch for your clitoris. Okay, so it actually goes to your perineum region, and there it supplies different organs in respect to your male and female. Okay, so this was actually your branches from your, I think I have complete everything, and I have told the vas deferens also here. The branch vas deferens directly arises from the branch to your vas deferens or the scrotum region. Okay, so you can consider a branch to your vas deferens. Vas deferens sometimes arises from umbilical artery also. So vas deferens, artery to your vas deferens in males. Okay, so remember it is only in males. So after cremasteric artery, I forgot to tell the middle rectal artery. So just remember, middle rectal artery actually arises from here. Okay, so this is your middle rectal artery. So middle rectal artery is direct branch from your internal iliac artery, and it supplies your middle part of your rectum, like inferior rectal branch, which is arising from your internal pudendal, and superior rectal, remember it is a continuation of your inferior mesenteric artery. So these three arteries actually does anastomosis in the region of your rectum, middle, inferior, and the superior from the inferior mesenteric artery. So this was actually your external iliac artery and its branches. So I think it is complete now. Okay, I have discussed all the branches and all small branches also. So just go through it. Thank you.